All right, guys, what's up? Welcome back to After the Island. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Alex.
And we have Amanda here today from The Bachelor.
Woo!
You were on Ben Higgins' season, from what I remember.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Did you do Paradise after, too?
I did Paradise twice.
You did? Where was it?
I regret the second time. Not proud to say that. But yeah, I did it twice. Season 3 and season 4.
Wow.
Okay.
Where did they film it?
We filmed it in Sayulita.
Is that Mexico?
It's down in Mexico. Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds nice.
Where did you guys film your first season? Because I never saw that.
Fiji.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you would think. It was very rainy. It was not like Fiji on a postcard. It was like other side of the island where it's like hurricane weather.
I have been to Fiji, and I was on the same side of the island that you guys were on. Yeah. Wasn't my favorite place.
Yeah, that's what we
back and stay on like the nice side.
Yeah, that's what we say. We're like, we could go back to like the Mala Mala or like the pretty little islands and stuff, but the side we were on, no chance.
It was unfortunate. Were you in Suva? Do you know?
I don't remember. This was probably like 4 years ago. We stayed at the Shangri-La.
Oh my God!
We stayed there.
We stayed there too.
That's where you guys stayed? Okay, so literally same experience, except for I was only there for like 5 days.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
we were there for 2 weeks because that's where we did our quarantine.
Wait, so how you guys were there for 10 weeks?
No, so we were at the Shangri-La for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For like
and then you went to the house. Got it.
like a quarantine type thing before quarantine was even a thing. We had to do this, and then the show would start, and then we were there like all summer too.
We do the same thing for Paradise. We quarantine first.
Okay, yeah, I feel like that's the normal protocol for reality TV.
Totally.
Wait, we saw you watched this season of Love Island too.
So I was just telling you guys, like, I never watched TV, and I was on a reality show that was like kind of similar. And so like, especially something like that, I'm like, I already know how it works. So it's like not that fun for me. But I started watching it and I was obsessed with it. So I need to go back and watch your guys' season. But I love that like there's a winner at the end.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that makes it so much more fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's so fun seeing the way, because like once you think it's over where, okay, America voted their favorite couple, it gets even better where someone's pulling the $100,000 and gets to choose whether they split it or keep it. So it's even exciting once someone wins.
Yeah, it's good. I loved it. I think I binge watched like 12 episodes in one day.
Oh my God.
So I started when it was already on like episode 13 or something. And so I had to like fully catch up, and I caught up in like 2 days.
Oh my God.
It's an addictive show. You also should go back and watch Love Island UK. It's really good.
It is. That's everyone's been messaging me. They're like, is there an Australia one in UK? So I have a lot to do now. I have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah,
UK,
you will be preoccupied for months.
Mm-hmm. The UK season with Molly May in it is my favorite one ever. I feel like
really. Okay, so I'll go back and watch that, but I'll watch your guys' first.
Going off of this season, who was your favorite couple to start?
So Sally was my favorite from the beginning. I think she's so cute. I literally want to be her best friend. I already slid in her DM and she responded. And then later in the season, I love Justine and Caleb. I feel like they were just like so solid and good from, the second that they became a couple. So
I'm just obsessed with them. I'm so biased.
It was great too to see, Justine's personality start to come through, and then also Caleb's, and so we got to like them both individually, and then we ended up liking them together. And I feel like with Bachelor, at least aside from Paradise, you really only get to see these people throughout the show as the couple. You don't ever see them separately. Yeah,
totally. Especially when you're a couple, but if you're single, then I guess kind of. But I think the difference too is like with Paradise, you already know who everybody is because everybody comes from The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, where like on Love Island, like you're just getting to know people from the very beginning. But like I think I cried in a few episodes because you can tell everyone just like is so close and like loves each other. And that's kind of same thing with Paradise or even The Bachelor. Like you get so close because you don't have phones, you're not talking to your family. Like people don't get like how close you really get to all those people.
Yeah,
for sure.
Time is like, we always say like time is not real because like one day feels like a whole week.
Yeah, like you don't even know what time it is half the time, and you're waking up early, going to bed late. Yeah.
For Bachelor in Paradise, I'm not completely like familiar with the format of the show, but how did the sleeping arrangements go?
So we had a girl's house and then we had a guy's house. But the place that we stay in Bachelor in Paradise, like this house is completely open. Like there's no electricity, there's no air conditioning. There's sand everywhere. Like you never feel clean when you're there. Like you'll get out of the shower and you're covered in sand. There's crabs everywhere. Like you will go into shower. There's crabs in your shower, crabs in your toilet, like crabs crawling on the walls. So they say it's kind of like glamping, but it's definitely like not glamorous whatsoever. And it's so hot. So you always we fought over fans, shared mirrors. Like I saw like this season, like they had the house and they had all these like mirrors lined up. I was like, wow. We did not have anything.
So Love Island's definitely different in that aspect. They really try to like make it a villa, like you're living, somewhere really nice.
Definitely more glamorous.
We only have one shower. Both seasons we've asked too. There's one shower for everyone in the house.
One bathroom.
Mm-hmm. The boys on Bachelor in Paradise though have a different house that's like underneath. So you sleep in different like houses. And the girls' house is way nicer, but we sleep in like bunk beds.
Oh my God,
That's
that
actually
is so funny. It's interesting because I feel like that makes you bond so much closer with the girls. And on Love Island, obviously, you sleep in your couple, which kind of grows you closer to the guy that you're coupled up with in that way, unless he sucks. The best part about Love Island is all of the conversations that we don't get to see is when they're coupled up in bed, pillow talk is always the best time.
Everyone ducks under the covers. To talk about all the deep conversations that you don't see people have, like walking around.
Try to hide from the mics.
Exactly.
We would swim out into the ocean to hide from the microphone.
Oh,
I thought, you guys have necklaces, right?
The guys had necklaces. We had like mics that were just like little clips that we would clip on, like either like our bathing suits or whatever, and just tuck in the back. But we had a couple times where like people would jump in the pool with their microphones on. Like we would forget, you get so used to having them on.
Is Paradise modeled in a sense where like you go on dates outside of the villa too?
Yeah.
Okay, so like a whole out of all of your Bachelor dates, what was your favorite one?
Gosh, I mean, I would say there's two. Like my date on The Bachelor, I got to go in a hot air balloon, which is like the first and only time I've ever been on a hot air balloon. It was in Mexico, so that was really cool. Then we like went and had a picnic. It was super fun and like romantic. But my favorite, like best date, I think, was probably on Bachelor in Paradise, just because it was like a good first date, like as a date and just like in general. We went on like a yacht and like jumped in the water and snorkeled and whatever. But some people get to do really cool stuff. I was really happy on The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise. Some people do like scary things like skydive or like like climb down a building. So I was just thankful I didn't have to do anything like that.
Oh my God, no, that would terrify me.
We didn't have anything like that. We did have to do like a weird Fear Factor style challenge. I think you probably saw it, the food one where you transfer the food. Yeah. So we had that too, but the problem with ours is we were using Fijian food. Like Fijian ketchup is not ketchup. Like it's terrifying. I don't know if you ever had it while you were there.
Can you like have to do it too, right? Like,
oh yeah.
I watched that one. I had to like fast forward through that part because it was so disgusting.
It's so
sick, but it's actually it's funny for us to watch it back, but I'm sure people watching, like, you either think it's the funniest thing ever, it's just so sick you like can't even look.
Yeah.
The worst thing about the challenges is that when this happens, you then have to wait to go into the beach hut, which is like the interviews. And you're just in the scalding heat and there's like ice cream baking on you.
Just, like letting it soak into your skin.
It's just not something that you would ever want to be a part of or have all of your senses active.
Totally. So you just like feel bad for the person that has to interview last.
Oh, yeah. We would find who got to go first.
Yeah.
You're like crossing your fingers that you got called before the other people so you could change and shower after. Because I wanted to know any like similarities or differences that you've noticed now from watching Love Island to like The Bachelor. Because I think there's a lot of crossovers and overlap, but then also they're so different.
So the similarities are like, obviously it's a dating show. I mean, you don't couple up with anybody in the beginning. You just kind of get there and see how things play out. But how it's similar is like we have rose ceremonies where like the girls are 1 week, we give our roses to the boys, and the next week vice versa. And whoever doesn't get a rose goes home. So that's similar, like the elimination process. But it's different because we already know who everybody is beforehand, So I think a lot of people, especially now, I think back when I was on it, I actually hadn't met anybody on my season except for one guy. So the first time that I met the guy that I ended up dating, was on the show. But a lot of times now, like everyone already has known each other and hung out before. So it's different in that way. Yeah.
Like you could do like a full, like detailed background search of these people beforehand.
Totally. Yeah. Or like, you know, a lot of people like meet at Stagecoach or Coachella because that's always like in between filming for The Bachelorette in Paradise. So.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes like what started happening was people were like planning before they went on the show, like we should date on the show. So they would meet, they would like each other, but they're like, let's wait until Paradise starts filming so we can like date on the show. But it really never ended up working out that way because, you know, the producers are good. They throw in someone else and, you know, yeah, it ends up, I think, causing more drama.
Right.
But yeah, it does happen.
So in Paradise, for people that don't know, people come in throughout the show, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So every week it's like new guys come in or new girls come in.
And you don't know like who's going to be coming in, but you always know it's someone from the Love Island franchise.
Or Bachelor.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, you know, and it's funny too, because then they walk in and like the guys were already on their season most of the time. So we all know each other. We know who each other are.
That's really funny.
That is.
It'd be like if Love Island had an all-star
season. Yeah.
That would be good. I would watch that.
We're hoping that they will ignite that in the future.
Like, are you currently single right now, or aren't you dating somebody?
I'm dating someone.
Oh, happy for you.
Thanks.
You seem happy. I see your post too, and I'm like, oh, I saw you were just like on vacation with him too, and it looked super fun. Where did you go?
Yeah. We actually were just in Utah. We road tripped.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
I've heard Utah's actually like so beautiful.
It was so pretty.
Okay, I want to ask you too about some of the other Islanders we saw in this season. Like, what were your thoughts on like Carrington?
I feel bad because like, I was on reality TV, and so like I know that like it hurts people's feelings, and I've also noticed like there are people that don't look good on TV, and they're probably really great in real life. But that being said, like he wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, so we didn't like him either. We were like, who is this douchebag?
Yeah,
and then we have the people that get booted from the island each week coming on our show, and they all love him, and everyone's like. Yeah. Worst edit, like from what we hear, like he is great. He's our favorite. So it's funny that we've been able to hear that because apparently his edit was just like much different than who he is.
Well, and I love that you touched on that because we don't know how to really navigate doing this show because basically we'll go live and talk about like what happened on the previous episode from the night before. And it is so hard to separate your feelings as a viewer and then you as a reality person who understands what they're going through and how they might be edited. So
and you catch yourself doing it and you're like, I know what this is, but then you're still like, wow. But then you're like, you know, it's just the edit and you're not seeing everything.
Yeah. You're like, wow, they got us. And we have been, but they still got us.
Yeah.
It's definitely been an interesting thing to navigate because people will be like, oh my God, you're a hypocrite. But we're like, no, we just see it from two completely different sides.
Yeah, totally get it.
We've definitely had like a weird balance between, really stating, we're just a viewer. What we see is just on TV. It's just a show. It's just for fun. And then like, they're also people and they have a whole life and personality outside of what is just being portrayed on the screen in front of us.
Totally. Yeah.
What did you think of your edit on the show? Did you think it totally portrayed like who you are?
No, I came off like very boring. I feel like they didn't really show me talk a lot. Like they didn't really show my personality. It was always just like me on a date or me talking about something serious or me talking to my kids. And so afterwards I was like, I swear I have a personality and I'm fun and I talk. But it wasn't anything bad. Like I don't feel like there might have been like little moments where I maybe looked kind of bad. But for the most part, I just feel like I looked really boring. What about you guys?
Sometimes it's better to be boring than, the opposite side.
That. Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, too, what your thoughts are on coming off a show like that, being, like, in a relationship and navigating, like, the balance between, having something be public and having people watch you and then having expectations for it and, like, balancing that out with, like, normal life.
I think it's really hard and there's like an added pressure that you almost feel like you really want to make it work because you don't want to like let other people down in a sense. So that was really hard for me because my relationship from the show didn't last very long. And I knew it wasn't going to last probably like a month after we got home from the show. But I think I like kept trying because I was like, well, I was like embarrassed to like have a failed relationship from the show. I don't know if you guys ever felt anything like that.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just like a lot of pressure. You know, it's like an added pressure. I already feel like there's so much pressure that you put on dating in the first place. So I didn't love it. I try to be like a little more private with my dating life now, but I don't regret it. But yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah. It's definitely like a weird pressure because you feel when you get off, you're in such a bubble where you're not doing anything for yourself. You have nothing to worry about, or at least very little to worry about. And you get off and you get thrown into real life with real problems, real situations, like everything.
Just all at once.
And just makes things 11,000 times harder. Because
then another thing, like you don't know like who their friends are, like if they even have friends, like what they're like in really stressful situations. Like there's so many things that you don't know, and you feel like you know someone so well because you do, but you don't know like the real life version of them.
Exactly. You know kind of like the glamorized version of them.
Yes.
Totally.
But it was hard coming back and really only being known for the couples that we were in. Like people just liked us for the relationship that we had from the show, and they like almost we were, you know, separate from that and individuals. Like so we had a lot of backlash on social media like once that didn't work out. Like did you see backlash too?
Totally. Yeah, there's like pressure to make it work, and then when you don't, you're also like, okay, people like don't care anymore now that I'm not in that relationship anymore. So I feel like it's just a lot of things, but at the end of the day, like it's still a real relationship. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I totally get that. And I had backlash too, especially with my first relationship from the show. I received a ton of backlash, and it was the worst breakup I'd ever gone through, especially because it was so public. And I was just like, I never want to do that again.
What is your advice of getting through you know, there's a lot of cyberbullying and all of that kind of stuff. What's your advice for getting through that in a normalized way?
I mean, I think I've gone through phases where like it really bothered me, and then I go through phases where I just don't care. And one thing that I've been really good at, like especially the last year, is just like blocking people. Like the second I see something mean, I just block them. Like I don't care anymore. But I mean, I feel like that's always going to be a thing, and it's so sad because I definitely went through phases where like the online stuff really got to me, especially when I was going through my breakup. It's just, you just kind of have to ignore it. You know, for me, it always helps being like, hey, those people don't really know me. But like they do say things that get to you. I feel like some trolls know like exactly what to say.
It definitely creeps in, especially like on a bad day or if something else isn't going your way, and then something else just kind of sneaks up on you somehow, and then you're just like, oh no, like why am I caring about this now? But when you have like the world, you know, falling at your feet and everything's going great, you're like, oh, I don't care, it's just a random internet troll.
Yeah, totally.
We found this group who started watching Love Island, and they're like J-Love stans, and we joined their Zoom group, and they're just like completely supportive, amazing, and they just have our back like with everything. Have you found any of those kind of groups that are fans, but they kind of turn into your friends?
Not as much with The Bachelor. I mean, I do have like, just with Instagram in general, I feel like I've like really like connected with so many people, but I don't, there's not really like a fan group of people that are like that, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's different. And I think part of it too is because like Love Island is like a game show where like someone wins, and I feel like that makes people like want to have your back more. I don't know.
No, that's very true. That's a good point.
The fans are wild. Like they are very dedicated. They're super into the show. Like it is unlike anything I've seen before. And I hope that Love Island can, you know, grow as a franchise over the years and get to as big as The Bachelor someday. But it's wild. The fans are very invested.
I think Bachelor fans are also that way too, though. But they're more cutthroat.
Bachelor fans can be a little mean sometimes.
And I think
that's the difference. Like on Love Island, they're like rooting for you, you know, like they want you to win. And on The Bachelor, it's just like judging everybody.
Right. With that. Honestly, that's what I kind of saw. Because the first time I really did sit down and fully watch a season was Peter's season. So like, bless my soul, I don't think I picked the right season to pick. But I was watching it, and all I did, I kind of like had to take a step back and check myself because I was judging the girls that were on it. And I was like, all right, this is probably not how they really are. They're probably being pushed into saying certain things, doing certain things. And then you're just looking at this guy like, oh, he can't do any wrong, you know? Like, it's almost like they're put up on a pedestal and then everyone else is judged
accordingly.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I feel the exact same.
Yeah, that's true.
It's also different too. Our show versus, you know, The Bachelor is that we're not all competing for the same guy. We have like all the different choices. And I feel like the way The Bachelor normally works is like all the people you're like friends with, like you're all going for that same person. Mm-hmm. Love Island, there's so many different like options.
Yeah, like there's options and like there's kind of someone for everyone, like if it works out. So that's very similar to like Paradise. Like there's more options for the guys and girls. What's crazy though is that like even though on The Bachelor like we're all competing over one guy, and on Paradise we have all these options, I do feel like Paradise is so much cattier.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the reason is?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's like I think people have more expectations going into Paradise because they know who people are and they're like, I want to date that one, and then he's dating someone else right in front of you. Where like on The Bachelor, surprisingly, like no one's really catty. Like even though we're all dating the same guy, like it's less like in your face, I guess, in Paradise.
I wonder too if that's like also a test to getting a taste of like the reality TV like fame leaving, and like a taste of like having, you know, being on this like high, leaving a show and then going in and knowing, okay, I know how these shows work now. I have that under my belt, and that's where the cattiness builds up from. Similar to like, I feel like if there was an all-star season, everyone would come in like, all right, I already know how this works. Here's my new updated game plan. That's like versus season one, you're so naive. There's no game plan. You don't know what to expect.
Exactly. And like the first time you go on two, you're like, I remember I was like, I'm going home night one, you know?
That was us.
Yeah,
too.
it was us.
Yeah.
We were like, we're screwed. We're going home. There's no way.
It literally.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
First one leaving.
I always feel so bad for like whoever goes home the first week or like the first night.
I know. Honestly, like the only thing we can say, and I'm sure you feel the same way, I don't know entirely how like the behind the scenes of Bachelor works, but when someone's there for a week, they're like, honestly, it feels like I've been here for a month, so I'm ready to head out whenever it sees fit, you know?
Totally. Yeah. But like the first night, like you prepare so like you get so excited for this like opportunity, and you quarantine and you pack all these clothes, and then you're like sent home the first night. So it's funny, like on The Bachelor, people are always like, oh my God, why is that girl crying? Like she barely knew him. And I'm like, she's probably not crying over the guy. She's probably crying because she wanted to be on The Bachelor and she's going home the first night, which I think is so sad. I would cry too.
When you look at it, our first recoupling or our first dumping, that person gets to be there for a full week. I feel worse for the people that have the in and out days. There's people that wait all season to come in for one day to try to flip heads. They come in, no one picks them, they go home the next day. That's the worst.
That's like The Bachelor the first night. Like you get out of the limo, you meet him, you're there for a few hours, and if you go home, like you never even move in the mansion.
You really don't even stay for that long? That is so bad. See, I think that's also a difference between Love Island, because most people that the OGs, they at least stay for a week.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like on Paradise, people are there for a day sometimes. The Bachelor, sometimes they're not even there for a night.
That sucks.
Yeah,
it's so bad. I know. I feel like that would be the worst.
Yeah.
I also wish that Love Island had a what's the after the thing called? The Women Tell All. Like I wish they had like an after ceremony. Like the reunion we did was like nothing like what you guys had, and I wish it was.
Yeah, that's always fun. It's fun to see everyone after, and like we always like go out to dinner and have this like big party after. So it's super fun.
That is fun. Basically, our Love Island reunion was everyone getting really drunk and then like nothing being able to be shown.
They just to a YouTube video.
I mean, we did the same thing. We drink so much. We're all like drinking even when we're on the show. Like during commercial breaks, we're like taking shots.
Yeah, that's it's so funny. I would make a lot of mistakes if I was doing that.
Yeah.
I do like how that's structured though, letting everyone kind of like make their piece from their time and reflect and get out what they wanted to say about it. I don't think any of us really had that opportunity, other than if they just...
Yeah, it's nice. I do feel like producers kind of know what they want from it.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I kind of dreaded going to the Women Tell All, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
I honestly would be pretty terrified because especially if I was taking shots, that would be not a great thing for me. But
Did you guys get along with everybody?
What?
Did you guys get along with everyone?
We did on our season, but we said that if we were in season 2, it might not have been the same. I think they casted way differently for this year than they did for ours.
That's wild.
You know,
I also think I was, you know, like, especially this season, like, people came from being quarantined.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like so much social interaction coming from like doing nothing to going there.
Yeah. It would make you more emotional too.
Oh,
like
for
you're
sure.
way everything because you're not used to having anything.
For sure. And like seeing someone without a mask, I'd be like, I can see a nose and a mouth. I'm in.
I'd be scared to kiss someone.
Yeah, that was honestly,
a lot of people said that.
Yeah, they were like, you guys don't understand. Like going through regular quarantine and then our quarantine, because their quarantine was way longer than ours. I think it was a full month, almost 4 weeks.
Yeah, we had people come off. They'd be like, I was ready to couple up with whoever. Like, I was ready to make out with everybody. Like, honey.
Yeah, like first guy I see is mine.
How do you feel about having a narrator kind of giving you, like, guiding you through making jokes? I love that about Love Island.
They do the same thing on Paradise, and I think it's so funny. Like, it makes it so much more lighthearted, like, when you're taking it so seriously. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, funny going home and, like, seeing how they edit things and the things that they're saying about you. Like, it just makes the show funnier.
I didn't know they did that on Paradise.
On Paradise. So on The Bachelor, it's, like, super serious. Like, Chris
yeah.
Harrison. He also narrates it for Paradise, but it's just like a funnier narrative to Paradise.
Right.
Like it's so serious.
I like the comedic factor roped into it. I think it's so funny to like see everyone get roasted a little or like even hear it towards yourself. Like it's so funny.
Yeah. Like you said, people are taking this so seriously. They have so many emotions towards certain people. And Matthew Hoffman is our narrator. And when I say this man is like this in real life, he keeps character no matter what.
Totally. Yeah, it's so funny. Was Ariel the host for you guys too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. She's amazing. Have you ever met her?
I have a couple times at like events and stuff. Yeah, she's so cute.
She is so herself. Like this is exactly how she is in real life.
Yeah.
We see on TV, which is why I love her so much.
She is so quirky and funny.
Yes.
That's why we like crack up when we have to see some of the more serious
we
narratives of her and we're like, oh my gosh, she's probably trying to like, laugh right now. Just don't smile for at least 5 minutes. I also wanted to ask you about like after leaving Bachelor and like, you know, moving up and on from there and you started your own clothing brand, Lonnie the Label.
Yeah.
Can we hear about that? I want to know.
Yeah, so it was actually something that I've always wanted to do. And then, like, obviously you get this platform when you get off the show. And, like, I knew I wanted to do something with it. And especially after I had kids, like, I loved dressing them up. I loved to match with them. So originally I started Lonnie, and it was supposed to be, like, matching mother-daughter outfits. But I feel like most of my following actually doesn't have kids. So now it's just kind of, like merged into just women's clothing. But I love it. It's my favorite thing to work on. Yeah, it's been really good.
It's so cute. I know I've seen some of the pieces and I love it. And I've seen like bigger stores picking up the brand too. And that's so
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah. What a cool avenue and like way to like follow your dreams and turn, you know, Bachelor into something tangible and, you know, good into like a cool direction moving forward.
I was going to say, how do you come up with the designs and all that kind of stuff?
So usually I find like inspiration somewhere, whether it's like, for me, I'm really big on like silhouettes and like styles that are flattering on everybody because that's usually what I like to wear. And so I'll usually just come up with inspiration. I also have a team, so they will, you know, I'll give them an idea of what I like. They'll sketch it up. I'll make changes to it. Then we get the samples in. Then we'll make changes again. And then we pull it back in and have like the final product. But our drops are usually like 4 or 5 times a year.
That's so
cool. So like right now we're already working on summer 2021.
Oh
wow. My God. That's so see.
You have to like predict the trends. Yeah.
How do you get that trend forecast?
Or there's like ways like especially with like fashion weeks or stuff, they'll tell you like what's gonna be in style then or like certain colors. But then you also just have to base it off of like what you like. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was gonna be really hard, like having to predict trends a year before. And to be honest, like trends don't change as fast as I thought that they did.
Yeah,
it's not as true as I thought. So, yeah.
I think living in like LA or New York or a big city keeps you like up to date with the trends as well. I feel like, it's kind of trickled down after that. And that's why they're able to hang on a little longer.
Yeah, that is very true.
Do you name any of the pieces like after your friends or family or anything? You know how like names?
Yeah, the first couple collections I named after like all my friends and family, and then I ran out of names. So I was like, okay, let's just make them up now. So now I just kind of make up names that I like.
I love that. That's a dream. You have the coolest job.
And you're in California?
Yeah, so my office is in like South Bay, so like a little bit past Long Beach before LA. Yeah.
Very familiar with it, actually. Right near LA Galaxy, right?
Yes. So you guys are in New York, right?
I used to live in New York. I live in LA now.
Oh, you do? Nice. Okay.
Yeah. We're like,
you guys are both in LA?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. West Hollywood and then Beverly Hills, but we're like super close. We've been filming in Michigan, but we're heading back soon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't be LA. It's so hot today, though.
Oh, really?
It's been hailstorming here, so
Really?
I would like. It's so hot.
From Love Island, like, which girl do you think you were most alike?
Do I think I'm most like?
Yeah.
I would say probably Kirsten.
Yeah.
She's just like super chill, but she's cool. She keeps it real. I love her. Yeah.
Do we make you do an arm chug in honor of her?
Have you seen?
Have you
tried it? I love her.
Unbelievable.
So fun. I did it with her on our Zoom the other day.
I was confused too. Like when Carrington wasn't not really feeling it, I was like, I think she's the cutest, coolest girl. Isn't it funny? I was literally watching Love Island and I was like, I don't even know what guys want anymore. Do you guys ever feel that way?
Yes.
Like, what is happening?
Awesome.
It makes me feel better.
Guys were so young this season. Like,
they were.
We had a pretty fair group of age groups.
Similar.
Like, it was, 22 to 30. So we had a fair shot at, everyone going for it. But this season, it was a bunch of 22 to 24. Like,
yeah, I noticed a lot of the guys were like 21. Oh my God, Connor is so sweet. Can we talk about Connor?
We love him. And
he's so nice.
He is so nice. And he's so cute with Mackenzie. We're like, they should have taken second place.
Yeah. Yeah, they're so cute. I feel like that's a situation where I watched it and I was like, at first I wanted to like not like her, but then I was like, I think she just like isn't doing well in this environment.
Yeah, exactly.
I also feel like she just was so scared to look like an idiot on TV.
Yeah, I think everyone
was letting it consume her. You know what I mean? Which I totally get because you have those moments where you're like, is something going on that I don't know about? Am I looking like an idiot?
Right.
And so I thought she was really cute.
It's very interesting about The Bachelor, how you guys shoot and then, everything's edited and it comes out and you're able to watch it.
Yeah.
We're on the show and it's going out. So when we were in Fiji, we literally never knew anything that was being aired.
We didn't know anyone's reactions. We didn't know if anyone was watching, like nothing.
We had no idea except for the people that came in and kind of gave us the lowdown on what was going on. It's very interesting, the live format, because when Mackenzie got the text about, okay, America wants to see my boyfriend on a date with someone else, I would spiral too.
Oh my God, I would freak out.
Yeah, because you're like, wait, something isn't adding up. I think I'm in this like great relationship, but like, why is America not wanting? I totally get it. But I think it's crazy too. Like, you guys get home from the show and it's like over. Like, everyone knows who you are. Like on The Bachelor, you get home and you're like just waiting for it to air.
That would give me anxiety. Messaging the producers like, so did you give me a good cut? Like, are you adding my date last week today?
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what
it does give you anxiety because the whole time you're like, what are they going to air? And then by the time it starts airing, you're like, you start forgetting some of the things that you said or what you did. And you're like, how are they going to edit me? What, like.
But on Love Island, you get home and you're like,
all right, I got to binge this entire thing.
Usually when you get to the final four, you know that you're at least liked a little bit.
Yeah.
Like someone likes you. But when you go in the midst of it, you're just open to a whole new realm of hate. I just flipped your hair for you. I'm sorry. Like you're just opened up to this new world that you weren't really prepared for because most people that go on this show have absolutely no social media following.
Well, then it's like, you go on the show and you're just like a normal person and like the show or like no one on the show ever trains you like about this. Like you have to learn it all on your own.
Right.
you know?
That's why I think for like a idea of Paradise or like an all-star type season, like it's a whole other playing field because everyone's already got that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no. After watching that, I was like, I wish I went on Love Island instead of Paradise. Because I'm like so competitive. Like I would want to compete and I would want to win.
Oh yeah, the games were
Do
so.
you feel like that? Like, are you really competitive on the show? Or are you just, do people not really care that much about winning?
So ours was not competitive because we didn't understand. It was such a new season and no one like even knew there was really money to win. Like we were like dumb about it. Like we didn't get it that it was like a game. Like everyone just was like, oh, it's a cool experience. Like, and if I find someone I'm into, like awesome. And I get to travel. Like no one saw it as like, this is a game show.
Right.
But this season has been a little bit differently, I'd have to say.
That makes sense though, because I was watching the show and I was seeing all these people like dating someone, they're like, I still want to get to know someone else. And it's like getting towards the end and people were still like, I want to get to know someone else. And I'm like, if you even want a shot at winning this, just like stay with who you're with and pretend to like them. You know, but I'm like, maybe they just don't really care. I don't know.
Too. I thought you meant like the games that we play. Like I am the most competitive person ever. So I was like, if I don't win this, I'm gonna be pissed. But we knew there was a money at the end.
We thought maybe they told us there was maybe a prize.
Right.
It was never promised at any point.
So we had no idea until the first day we started shooting, and Ariel was like, "You guys have the chance to win $100,000," and we were all like, "Woo!"
Yeah, we were like, "Oh!"
And they were like, someone just told you that you might win $100,000. Can we reach that?" And just you guys act maybe a little excited, and we were like, "What?"
Yeah.
Shoot it.
Because we just felt like we're in Fiji with a bunch of people that we're clearly getting along with.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit if we win $100,000. We're just having the time of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But it's definitely, I think once Love Island gets going, because you can see it in the UK, you can see it here now. People understand the game. There's more of a strategy going in. People know when they're going in later, they know that they have to gun for someone.
Or they're going home.
They're a goner.
They know, like...
It's same with Paradise. Yeah, like, in with Paradise, like, if someone comes in the last week, like, they know they're just kind of, like, there for a day.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Wait, so is it a rule in Paradise that you have to get engaged?
No.
Oh, okay.
People do get engaged, but it's not like a rule. You don't have to.
Okay.
Wow, I can't imagine if I got engaged. Like, that's wild.
I did get engaged the first
You
time.
did?
You did?
Yeah.
No. Did you get to keep the ring? Is that,
I had to give it back, which it was fine. Like, I didn't want it anyways, you know? Like, it was a pretty ring, but I wasn't engaged, so I was like, you can have it back.
Really, that wasn't real. That was just short.
Yeah, no.
I was wearing it for 5 months.
I was going to say, how long is Paradise?
3.5 weeks. Yeah.
After that?
That's wild.
Is that short?
That's so short.
That's
Ours
so
was longer
short.
than that, and I don't think I could have done that.
I would give it back too.
Yeah.
If you're not together for 2 years, you have to give it back.
Okay.
If you break up after 2 years, you get to keep it.
Wow.
I should have really like stuck.
Yeah, that would be some suffering.
Unless it's actually pulling my hand down from the weight that it is, I could not stay in that for 2 years.
Yeah, people are working out to make it worth it.
Yeah, they could not have convinced
Oh my
me.
God. All right. Well, final thoughts on, are you so happy about J-Love? Because we were just over the moon.
I'm so happy. It was funny. I was actually out to dinner last night, so I didn't get to watch it live, but I told my followers, I was like, please let me know who wins. And I was so happy. Yeah.
Really.
They deserved it. They were so cute. I kind of knew they were going to win.
Oh,
We were hoping. Yeah. Well, we're so happy you came on. Thank you for taking the time to do this. This was awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. We'll link your socials down below. We'll link Lonnie the Label down below. And to everyone watching, show Amanda some support on all of her socials and at Lonnie the Label. Her designs are actually very, very cute. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys for our next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Amanda.